If you're brand new to Notion, this video's for you because I have had a lot of people say to me they want the complete basics from how to find the website, how to log in. We're going that granular. So we're going to cover off in this video what Notion is, how Notion is like what it's made up of, how to create your account, how to duplicate any template into your own account, and then how to create your first blocks, and we'll just look at the kind of main top level blocks. So I'm demonstrating this using an interactive worksheet that's built in Notion, and I will leave a link to that in the description. It's totally free, so grab it and work through it yourself. And let's get started. So Notion is a flexible workspace where you can organize your entire business in one place. So there's no single one right way to use it. And that's what makes it really powerful, but also why a lot of people find Notion overwhelming. So I like to think of, and a lot of other people say this as well, I like to think of Notion like Lego. Each brick does its job perfectly, but the magic isn't in just using one brick, it's in building that combination to build out exactly what you need, either for your life or for your business. So how this worksheet works that we're going to use is each tab is set up to teach you one thing, and on some pages there are exercises to do as we go. So if you grab it yourself, you'll be able to work along with it and actually do what I'm explaining rather than just watch and forget it all and sit and passively consume. Okay, so how Notion is built. So Notion is made up of blocks, pages, and databases. There's also an AI element, but we're not going to cover that in this video. So blocks firstly. Blocks are the smallest unit of everything. So each piece of text, each image, each checklist or table, any different element, that's a block. And you can drag them around, you can drag and drop, you can nest like sometimes things inside other things. And that's what makes Notion so flexible. Because there's no fixed layout, you can kind of play about and build what you need. Then we have pages. So pages are your canvas. So you can mix any blocks you like within a page, and pages can live inside other pages. So you can nest them a bit like folders on a desktop. So you might have a page called Client Work with a separate page inside of it for each client. And then we have databases. So databases are collections of pages that share certain properties. So every row is every row of the database. If you think of a database like a table, each row of that table is a full page that you can open. So your content calendar could be a database with a date property for when that content's going out. Your product list could be a database where it maybe has category tags for what kind of product it is. Or your client tracker could be a database with pages that all have, say, email address properties and status properties. But each page you can open, and you have your tags or properties at the top that each entry shares, and then below that is a page like any other Notion page where you can put in any information that you like. So how it fits together is that your blocks live inside pages, and then your pages can live inside other pages, and databases are a collection of pages that all share certain properties that you decide when you're building that database. So that's kind of the basics, and you build from there. So next up, you want to create your account. So you want to head to notion.so and sign up for a free account, and you want to answer the onboarding questions. The free plan is pretty generous, and you can go a long way with that before you ever need to upgrade. So step one is to go to Notion, and we've got a link here in the workbook so you can follow this along. Then you can sign up and then follow the setup quiz. So this is going to keep you right. Then to duplicate a template, another page. So this is the template version of the same document. So when you are on here, you want to find the duplicate button, which is on the top right of the screen, and it looks like two squares overlapping. You can see here. So you want to click that. We're going to just work through these first before we click it. Then you want to click duplicate, and Notion copies the entire page and everything inside it into your own workspace. This could take a few seconds, and you may need to make sure that you're already logged into your Notion account beforehand. And then you should be able to find it in your sidebar after that. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm clicking duplicate. It's going to ask me where in my workspace I want this. I'm just going to add to private. And I've got this pop-up saying template is being added. And when that changes, I can click on this to be brought directly to it. Yeah, see template. Or I can look on my sidebar for this name. Okay, so let's work through the rest from this template version. So we were on duplicate this template, so we'll go back there, and we have worked through all of these. So next we want to write or create our first block. So we're going to create a text block. So we want to click on this blank area of the page here in pink, and we want to start typing. So we will write a sentence. And just by typing, that's a block. And click enter. So this is one block, and this is a new block by clicking enter. On the next tab, we want to use the / command. So I need to click into the pink space again, click / and we can see a menu's appeared, and this is where we can choose what block we want to add. So we've got various text blocks and regular text and headings. We have bulleted lists. You can kind of scroll through this to see everything yourself. We've got images, videos, we can embed things. There are so many options with this menu. Next up, we have headings. So we can use the hash to write a heading, or we can do the same thing again, and we can click / and we can select the kind of style of heading that we want to write. So this is a heading. Okay, and then we could add a bullet list. So I'm going to click enter again for a new block, and I'm going to type dash followed by space, and I get a bullet point. Or again, if I delete that and click / I can start typing bullet, and up comes bulleted list. So there are two ways for me to do that. And yeah, so that's how we add blocks. Then we might want to add an image. So we can press / and we can click image, and we can decide to upload an image. We can add an image link if it's coming from the web or if it's stored somewhere online, or we can select from the Unsplash website. I've got some more options because I have Notion AI, so I can generate images as well. Or you can just pick an image from your dashboard. I'm just going to pick the first one that's showing, and you can drag it and drop it. And that's going to upload your image that way too. So there are a few ways to add images. Oh, and I already showed you how to use the / menu, so we won't go through that again. And then if we scroll along these tabs, we can also nest pages. So if I create a page, we've got a new page, I'm just going to click back on my breadcrumb, and then I click in here. I'll give this a name. I'll call it page 1. I can then do the same again. Do / page and create page 2. And if I go back to page 1, you can see page 2 is within page 1. So you can nest pages. And I've just realized that if I'm going to show you how to navigate, I need to change the order. I'm going to add in how to navigate because it's not showing. So I'll show you that in this video anyway. So to navigate, if I go back into page 1, you can see we have a breadcrumb up here. So you can see the path I've taken to get to page 2. And if I want to navigate back one page, I click here, and I want to navigate back another, and you can see there's a whole path here all the way back to my home page. So that's how you navigate. I'll add some instructions into this about that. And then we've nested pages, so next we might want to add a database. So the first thing you want to do is create a table database. So we're going to click / and we're going to start typing database, And I'm going to choose database inline for this example, but you can create a full page database as well. Inline just means you can add other blocks to the page as well. A full page database, you can only add your database and nothing else. We're going to just call this demo database. And we're going to go on to the next instruction. And the next step is to add a row to our database. To do that, we just click plus. And we'll call this row 1. And we have, this is a page now, which opens to the site. And then we want to add a property. So that's along this way. So we click the plus button and we're going to create a select type and we're going to call it something like categories or properties. So let's select plus. We want to pick the select property. This makes it like multiple choice. And then we can add options. So we give it a name up here where it says select. So let's call this categories. And then we can click plus and add in category 1, category 2, category 3. Ooh, I've done 2 numbers and 2 spelling and 1 number. That doesn't matter for this example. And then if we click into row 1, you can see we can then select which category we want to give our row, if that makes sense. So that's how you add a database. And so that's basically it for the bare bones basics. If you would like to grab this yourself, you can grab it in the link in the description, just to get to know Notion and play about with the kind of main building blocks and how to actually create your own account. So I hope you found this useful. I'm going to be creating a lot more beginner-friendly videos of how to build basic things, mainly business focused. So if that interests you, be sure to subscribe.